On the third day, we will be focusing on Metasploit Exploitation. That you can see, this is a famous framework here. And this framework will, 60% of the ethical hacking content is really based on this. However, there are many different frameworks available which are better than Metasploitable, but we are going to stick with this. So Lazy Script is one of the beautiful framework that I am aware of, which helps you to, it's similar to Metasploit, but this is specifically towards, Wi-Fi attacks and things related to the Wi-Fi. Then you can find something called FatRat. This is also a very good framework. This is pretty much usable for you to create FUD backdoors. That means non-detectable payload. And you can even use something called Veil Evasion. I believe my spelling is correct. You can see Veil Evasion. This is one more framework. And Phantom Evasion, P-H-A-N-T-H, I believe, Phantom Evasion. You can use these kind of frameworks in order to get an automated payloads created for you in order to get some, antivirus evasion and stuff like that. However, in certified ethical hacking, we are going to do Metasploit exploitation. It's very easy. We will teach you how to exploit Windows machine, how to exploit Linux machine, even how to do a privilege escalation, because at the initial stage when you are doing an exploitation, you will be able to execute some certain commands, but you won't be getting the admin privileges in order to steal almost all the details of the victim machine, right? So we will teach you how exactly that you can do a privilege escalation. And the second thing is really good. That means persistence attack, where what you will do is once if you get the initial foothold of a particular machine, you will quickly create a small JavaScript file or maybe a VB script file and insert the file into a temporary folder. And from there, you will be keep on getting the sessions towards your attacker machine so that you don't need to convince the user to click the malicious file that you're always creating. We will further go into that, and we will be giving you a couple of exams. That means not exams, just a walkthrough of a couple of vulnerable machines called Metasploitable 1 and 2, which are purposely created in order to get exploited by this particular framework. So that will be good revision for you when we are doing this couple of frameworks. So let me quickly show you how exactly this Metasploit, Metasploit exploitation works. That's extremely simple for me, simple for us. So I'm just going to clear here, CD, right. So now what you need to do is, I have already created a small file, right? So the file is called, backdoor.txt. You can definitely create the file. It's about a small sentence that you are doing, right? So MSF venom -p like that. So we will be providing you the script on how to do that one as well. Otherwise, you can search on the internet, how to create an exploit. That will come. A small exploit that we have created in our lab that is called, let's say, backdoor.txt, for example. So I have already created that file from the Kali Linux. I have transferred the file to the Windows machine over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to convince the user to click this file, right? So once if the user clicks the file, I need to get hold of this entire machine very quickly. For example, in order to do that, I need to go and open up my Metasploit framework in this Kali Linux terminal. So I'm just typing a couple of commands called service PostgreSQL start, right? And this is a very preliminary, command that we need to type before starting the Metasploit framework, and MSFDP, right, which is Metasploit framework database initialization. And after that, I'm just typing MSF console in order to start that framework, right? Once the framework is started, I need to create a small listener so that every time when a victim clicks the file, when a reverse connection is obtained from the file, we will have to catch that reverse connection and need to display a terminal called Metasploit session. So I'm going to create some a handler over here, use exploit multi handler, and I'm gonna set all the different parameters here. One is called payload, and I need to set the exact same payload that I have created when I have used when I'm creating the same exe file, which is nothing but Windows. Right, so this is the payload, and I'm going to set L port. I know that this is 4545. That is the one I have used it, and I'm going to put the listening host. That is my own IP address, which is my Kali Linux IP address. Then I'm going to assign exploit. That's it. So now what I have to do is I need to go back to this machine. I need to convince the user to double click it. So when he double clicks it, and that's all that you can see that you got hold of that particular machine. If you don't trust me, you can type system info just to verify whether you got hold of the machine. Yes, you got hold of the machine. You can even type help just to see what are the different commands that you can execute. You can even play with their webcams. You can play with the keystrokes. You get a lot of different commands to be executed. However, not every command will definitely work. For example, if you type get system, right? So here then we type get system, hit enter. It's pretty much telling access is denied. So this is why you need to elevate your credentials that we will be teaching you in the class in detail how exactly that you can elevate your credentials. When you type get privs privileges, I think yes, this one in one shot, you can see it is only very less privileges that this person is having. However, some serious stuff that we can do with these existing privileges. Let me show you only one, which is called run VMC, right? So I will be able to get a VNC session of my victim, and I will be able to watch it very nicely. And in a little while, that you're going to see that it'll get popped up here. It'll take a little bit of time, even though the machine is sitting next to me. There you go, that I'm able to see a VNC session of my Windows 7 machine. I can quickly go here, minimize this one, come and see over here, and you can see it's pretty much replicated very nice. I can't even, I won't be able to interact with that, but I will be able to see what's actually happening over there. Okay, so like this, there are a lot of different techniques available. So let me put exit over here. Right, so I'll go back to my normal session from the Metasploit session. So these kind of techniques are there. You can even do this from browser and blah blah blah. There are a lot of different things that are available. In the next session that we are going to do stegnography and image forensics. We will be minimum doing 10 different practicals on this. The first 5 would be stegnography, which is a concept where you can hide some information behind a source file. The source file could be an image or video or an audio or anything. The hiding information, it could be a text information, or maybe you can go offensive and try to hide some exe file behind a picture. The last 5 practicals will be focusing towards the image forensics, where you will learn the tools and techniques on how exactly you identify information which are hidden behind a picture.